literally feels like just yesterday we were watching the end of Chapter 3 live event, and honestly, still to this very day has me kind of disappointed. None of that matters, as the Season 2 leaks are coming out at full speed. But first, in Fortnite Chapter 4, we were all hoping to get Miles Morales as the secret skin, and it left us all very disappointed when we found out that it was actually The Witcher.
No! God, please, no!
But with the next season only being a few weeks away, and the release of Miles Morales' new movie coming out soon as well, there's a huge chance we could see Miles Morales finally added. Just make sure you hit the thumbs up button so Epic Games knows how much we want him. Judging by the leaks, Chapter 4 Season 2 looks to be one of the craziest seasons ever, adding a bunch of brand new mythic weapons, super awesome, never seen before point of interest, and so much more that's all been revealed thanks to the latest leaks. First, look how close we are to 4.36 million subscribers. We couldn't be any closer. It would mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe button and be my 4,360,000 subscriber. Last video, I asked you guys to name this emote, and there's a bunch of people on the screen right now who got it right. For this video, we have a new emote. If you know the name of this, make sure to leave it down below in the comments. We've wasted too much time. We have an absolutely insane amount of stuff to cover, all having to do with Chapter 4 Season 2. Let's get into it. Now, before we get to the biggest Chapter 4 Season 2 leak so far, first things first, we need to explain the Fortnite storyline going into the brand new season. As we all know, here in Chapter 4 Season 1, we had a brand new faction introduced known as the Oathbound. That consists of almost everybody on the Fortnite island. Obviously, we have Ageless himself, the leader. We also have the Rift Warden himself, who has been tasked with overlooking the construction of the Rift Gate, as well as Scrap Knight Jules, who actually constructed the Rift Gate herself, with the whole point of it being so the Oathbound can bring in this mysterious shapeless man. But here's the thing, coming up in less than a week, part 4 of the Oathbound quest will become available. Thanks to the Fortnite game files, we already know that this will cause the Rift Gate to become fully activated, and it'll have a special ability where numerous different NPCs will actually spawn here every game, essentially meaning we'll be successfully connected to the different realities. And I have to assume at least one of these NPCs is gonna be the scientist himself, since after all, Amy literally built herself a body so she could enter the Rift Gate to go after him. You haven't seen nothing yet, because one of these characters that'll be returning is actually supposed to be Midas, who is actually still alive and well, even though we saw him get eaten by a shark in the Chapter 2 Season 3 trailer. Because you can't forget, Donald Mustard said he was stuck inside of the loop whenever he got eaten, meaning he's actually A-okay. I'm sure we all remember a few videos ago where I pointed out the brand new Goldie NPC, where whenever you talk to her, she'll actually reference his Midas Golden Touch, which, believe it or not, isn't even the biggest sign that he's gonna be making his return, because check this out. If you remember, back in Chapter 2 Season 2, located inside of Midas's Battle Pass room, we're actually able to see a bunch of golden helmets hanging up on the wall, and these were all of Midas's double agents. And now, here in the Most Wanted event, every single one of those double agents are now a boss guarding a vault. Things get super interesting though when you look at what Fortnite calls the faction, known as the Cold-Blooded Syndicate, and the word syndicate essentially means two different groups or organizations that came together, making it likely that the Cold-Blooded is actually a combination of both the Ghost and Shadow faction, since after all, Midas himself was the original leader and founder of both of those. And don't worry, coming up next is the biggest Season 2 leak so far. But first, we all know that everything we see in Fortnite takes place in Reality Zero, which is the exact same reality we've been in since the start of Fortnite, with the exception of a few live events that temporarily teleported us elsewhere. But all of the other realities exist simultaneously inside of the Zero Point, which is how the Chapter 4 island was constructed, by reaching into those realities and grabbing pieces of the island. There are basically an infinite amount of realities, like Reality 258, which is essentially the reality of Mancake, who lives and works at the Butter Barn in a Wild West town. But now a new reality has been revealed by Donald Mustard, actually known as Reality 16. And this is either one of two things. The first, either being where the scientist has been located ever since he was consumed by the Chrome in Chapter 3 Season 4, or ever since then, he apparently has been changing more and more as something terrible happens to him. But this isn't the first time we've seen Donald Mustard do this, because before Chapter 4 ever released, started giving us a bunch of different realities, like literally like 10 of them, and it ended up turning out that each one of those realities had one piece of the Fortnite island taken from it and added to the Chapter 4 map. So if it turns out that Reality 16 isn't actually where the scientist is, then it's very likely that it's home to one of the brand new POIs we'll see added in Season 2. And keep in mind, every second season of a chapter, we always see a live event go down, whether it was like the one last season where we got the Collider and got introduced to Geno inside of the 0 point, or like the device event we had in Chapter 2, Season 2, where Midas and Jules created a device to try and counteract the storm, but except this time around, it'll likely have to do with the Oathbound and this mysterious, shapeless man that we've heard mentioned ever since the beginning of the season. But now, it's time for by far the biggest Season 2 leak. It actually has to do with the brand new Season 2 Battle Pass, and if you're anything like me, that's always what gets you most excited each and every single time for a new season, since it's always responsible for giving us some of the coolest skins in all of Fortnite history. Anyways, you remember how we discussed Midas possibly returning for Season 2? Well, it won't just be him, and we'll actually be seeing a few other members of the Ghost and Shadow returning as well, with the first being Meowscles, and this has been in the works for a very, very long time, because Epic Games basically spent all of Fortnite Chapter 3 building up his storyline, and his new skin has leaked, which I'll show you guys in just a second, because the way his storyline goes explains everything. I'm sure we all remember last season, where Meowscles was an NPC on the island, where we didn't just find out that Meowscles was the father of Kit, but also that Meowscles' relationship with Lynx, who he was previously married to, is basically totally ended, as Meowscles now describes himself as a single cat dad. And take a look at single Meowscles, boys. If this isn't one of the biggest glow-ups in Fortnite history, my man is literally sporting a rock-hard six-pack and some hair that would make even a lion jealous. This skin was recently revealed in a Fortnite skin survey, which is basically how Epic Games decides what skins are going to be in the Fortnite Battle Pass. But it doesn't just end with Meowscles and Midas returning, because so will Midas's genius daughter Jules, who has already been in Fortnite Chapter 4 ever since it released, but in the form of Scrap Knight Jules, who works for the Oathbound. And obviously the Scrap Knight Jules is simply a snapshot of Jules and not Midas's actual daughter, like we'll see next season. But you're able to see her new skin has kind of a futuristic vibe going on with it, kind of reminding me of Chapter 1 Season 9 and the Neo Tilted point of interest. If this is true, then maybe the Reality 16 that Donald Mustard teased earlier this week could actually be a more futuristic reality with all sorts of new technology and features, with one of them actually being a brand new cosmetic slot where you're able to add a charm to your weapon. And this is pretty cool. Essentially think of it like a keychain or a dog tag, which I think is awesome. Anytime we get another way to customize our character, I'm personally all for it. Here's the thing, these have been leaked for a very, very long time. They've been inside of the game files ready to go with a total of about 20 different weapon charms, but I'm pretty sure the reason Epic Games hasn't released them so far is simply because while third person is the only way to play Fortnite inside of the game, you wouldn't really be able to notice them all that much. But the good news is, as we all know, first person is quickly on its way to Fortnite, and it's almost done, because I'm sure we all remember, like 2 weeks ago, Epic Games accidentally added a glitch where everybody was able to try out first person before quickly removing it and patching it a few days later, meaning they're likely saving the official release of first person until Chapter 4 Season 2, kind of like how in Fortnite Chapter 3 we saw the brand new Zero build mode introduced, but this time the brand new gameplay feature will actually be first person. It'll do an absolutely incredible job of showcasing the brand new cosmetic weapon charm. The last few weeks leading up to Chapter 4 Season 2 are gonna be absolutely insane, as the Rift Gate has officially been activated, and coming up in next week's Oathbound quest, I imagine we're not only gonna see at least the scientists finally return to the Fortnite universe, but also likely the mysterious shapeless man that the Oathbound has been talking about, who I personally am still extremely confident is the actual Geno, because you can't forget the ageless boss we have here is simply a snapshot left to rule over the Empire. More and more Season 2 leaks are coming out non-stop. I'm gonna post them all here on my channel and over on my Twitter account at HomeAGamesYT. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.